Yo, what's good guys? Today I'm gonna show you how to make this crazy distort clone effect on After Effects. So to start it off, we got our clip. I'm gonna be using this 4 bats clip right here. So what we're gonna do is just duplicate the first layer. We're gonna scale it up and we go to mode and turn it up to add. So once we have on add, we're just gonna position it to something like this. And then we can mess around with the opacity as well, just so we can see a bit better the bottom layer. Now we go to the end of the clip, we go to scale, position, and opacity. We keyframe all of them. We go to the start, and then we press Shift, Control, Alt, and a H. So it just brings it back to its normal position. So as you can see now, we have it coming out like this. We can ease it by pressing F9 right here, and also adding motion blur. Now what we have to do to it is add a little heat wave. This just distorts it a tiny bit. We can turn up the intensity and then drop down the speed. So you have something like that. Maybe drop down the speed a bit more. Something like that. We can add in a grain as well. With the grain, what I usually do is turn up the amplitude and then the frequency, turn it up as well. And then drop down the amplitude again, just so you can see a bit. We don't want too much grain, just some light like that. So now we're gonna add in a chromatic aberration. Just this effect right here. This adds that little distort, as you can see right here. We can mess around with it. We can drop it down a bit. And the scale as well. So just drop the master distortion and master scale. So there we have something like this. So that's kind of it for the top layer. Now what we can do is just mess around with flickers and the bottom layer. So what I usually do is make an adjustment layer. Just chop it up and add in a little flicker. So usually with the flicker settings, I turn up the amplitude quite a lot and then the random frequency down a lot. And same with the lumina amplitude. So there we have kind of like a light flicker. You can mess around with it. If you want it to flicker a bit more, you can just turn up the random frequency. So I'll have it like this. So I'll just keep it above these two. So what I usually do is also make another adjustment layer. Bring it in between both layers. Just chop it up. And I add in the distort blur. So we can hide the top 2 layers just by pressing the eye icon. So you can see the bottom one. This is too much, so we just drop it down. The blur amount. We just drop down the blur amount. And we mess around with the blur lens by turning it up. And as we do that, we can also mess around with the blur amount. You don't want to do too much with it. Just some light is cool. And then we can keyframe the blur amount. Somewhere around the middle of the adjustment. Go to the start. Bring it to 0. Go to the end. And bring it back to 0. Now we can unhide those top 2 layers. And then we have our effect. You can find more of these type of effects down below in my website. On my Ken Carson editing pack, I do have a lot of these type of distort effects that you might mess with, so go make sure to check it out. I also have a free pack on my Discord, so make sure to join that. And if y'all got any questions, hit me up on Instagram. Hope you have a good one.